We are continuing to follow a murder investigation out of Pembroke, where authorities say a man was stabbed to death by his girlfriend.
Dominique Collins is charged with murder in the death of Raji Mincy. News 3's Khalil Maycock joins us now with how people in that community are reacting to this tragedy.
Now, some members in this community where the stabbing happened say they can't believe something like this happened so close to home. And one woman says she's still in shock.
I was heartbroken. I felt hurt. I felt like so much anger and rage.
That mix of emotions from Erica Brunson is about the deadly stabbing of 26-year-old Raji Mincy in the Franco Miller village of Pembroke. According to the GBI, the stabbing happened Sunday night. 25-year-old Dominique Collins was arrested and charged with the murder. Mincy and Collins were living together, and witnesses say they were a couple. Brunson says the night of the stabbing, she was in the living room 2 apartments away from the crime scene.
I heard all of this screaming. I didn't know who it was coming from, but I did know I heard 2 voices. And I heard it, and I was like, who was that? And whatever, but I didn't pay any mind to it.
She says she didn't take things seriously until she saw flashing lights and Mincy being put into an ambulance. Brunson says when she learned Mincy was dead, she was shocked and still is.
They'll hurt us to know that he's not here and he's no longer going to be here forever.
Brunson described Mincy as upbeat, always smiling, and someone who bounced back from anything.
Raji is he's very popular around Pembroke. Very popular around Pembroke, like everybody knows him. So we were all just like laughing it off, you know, at first, because this is Raji, he gets up. He gets up and then but that did not happen that night. If we keep holding on to this grudge, we all know that that's not what Raji would want. He would want all of us to stay happy and be happy and continue to move on, because sooner or later we're all gonna be meeting again.
Now, this case is still under investigation by GBI, and Collins is still behind bars at the Bryan County Jail. In Pembroke, Khalil Maycock, WSAV News 3.
Police put 16 Savannah businesses to the test for compliance with underage alcohol sales laws, and more than half of them failed. The SPD Alcohol Beverage Compliance Unit conducted random checks in a 2-day operation last week. 9 businesses were cited for selling alcohol to underage buyers. They range from package shops to convenience stores. All of them now face fines. The managers or licensees of those establishments were notified what actions would be taken by law enforcement. More than a half dozen businesses passed that compliance check. Those 7 businesses will receive letters of congratulations from the Savannah Police Department. The ABC unit says operations regarding underage alcohol sales and overconsumption continues.
For your safety tonight, holiday fire dangers are the focus of an important demonstration in Savannah today. Firefighters showing you just how fast a blaze can overwhelm a holiday gathering. News 3's Martin Staunton shares the details.
Standing in front of a very visual demonstration of the dangers of holiday fires. This demonstration here at the training center for the Savannah Fire and Rescue Department was staged so that people can see just how long it takes for that fire to get out of control, and it was a matter of minutes.
It depends a lot on the materials in your house, but oftentimes during the holidays, with the addition of decorations, Christmas trees, presents, you have a possibility of a quicker fire spread. Houses tend to have more materials in the house than they normally do.
There are several potential ignition points for fire this time of year.
Braid cords for extension cords and Christmas tree lights, and of course candles.
Thompson says time is the enemy once a holiday fire starts, adding the best thing to do is
to get out of the house if there's an emergency and make sure everyone's out with you.
Fires during the holiday season keeps firefighters busy.
Generally around the holidays, you'll see a pickup and calls for service, whether it be fires. Sometimes you also have the turkey fryers is another one.
Another one of the risks for fires that comes along for some over the holidays. Captain Thompson says his primary hope with this public demonstration is
I'd like them to just be aware of like how quickly a fire can become unmanageable and how much of a threat it can be in a short period of time.
In minutes, everything inside was lost, but firefighters are hoping this message isn't.
Around New Year's, that's about the time your Christmas tree is getting really dry, so it's really important to water your tree if you have a natural tree throughout the holiday season. It seems to take a backseat with a lot of people as soon as the actual Christmas holiday is over.
Firefighters reiterate that their #1 piece of advice to the public when it comes to not just a fire at the holiday season, any time of year, is to get everyone out of the house immediately. Reporting in Savannah, I'm Martin Staunton, WSAV News 3.
In a Lowcountry report, Hilton Head Island now has a new mayor-elect. After nearly 13,000 votes were cast in last night's runoff election, John McCann walked away the winner. The current town councilman garnered nearly 56% of the vote to defeat Councilwoman Kim Likens. McCann says he wants to keep listening to not just the people who voted for him, but the entire island, including his own town council.
Well, the first thing is bring consensus back to the town council. We have to work together. There's a lot to be done. There's a lot hasn't been done in the last year or two, and we've got to get back on schedule.
McCann says workforce housing is one of the big things he will be working on right away. He will be sworn in December 4th.
Georgia voters will be heading back to the polls to take part in the runoffs for 2 offices. The Secretary of State race heads to a runoff between Republican Brad Raffensperger and Democrat John Barrow. Republican Chuck Eden and Democrat Lindy Miller will be going head-to-head in the runoff race for District 3 Georgia Public Service Commissioner. Polls will be open statewide on Tuesday, December 4th from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Early voting will be held next week. In a community report, one Lowcountry man helping kids deal with a devastating diagnosis, cancer.
He's using their own voices to give them some peace of mind. Here's Andrew Davis has that from our Lowcountry newsroom.
80 books, 40 languages, 35 countries on topics ranging from polio to Social Security sign-up. But Brian Julius's latest speaking book is personal. A cancer survivor himself, he's trying to help kids understand their disease in their own words.
Your doctors and nurses don't want to hurt you. We won't lie to you either, okay?
Cancer. It's called Children Coping with Cancer, a book designed to help kids dealing with the disease by using words and ideas they can understand. It's words they get to hear themselves. 2 local youngsters recorded the audio in English and in Spanish. According to Julius, kids are reacting better to someone their own age and size telling this story.
Having children talking to other children is more understandable. The kids relate to it. The kids love it. And in fact, there was a suggestion from Rotary Early Act Children when they were looking at the book saying, we should be recording your books for other kids because they're going to listen to us. We know what we're talking about.
Now, the books are free through a partnership with Pfizer and Hilton Head Rotary. Julius is giving away 2,500 speaking books to pediatric cancer wards here and across the country. He hopes this book and all of them, whether for adults or kids, give a positive message and start them on a journey to better days. Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3.
Andrew, thank you. Crews have cleared up an accident on the Truman that blocked traffic for hours. This is a photo from that scene. Right now, the southbound lane on the Truman has reopened. Crews worked for hours clearing up that accident involving an overturned sanitation truck. It happened around 1 p.m. We're told only minor injuries. Again, the southbound lane has reopened.
Funeral services are set now for a political icon and former Savannah leader. Dr. Clifford Hardwick III died on Sunday at the age of 91. Hardwick was a city councilman, an educator, and grandfather of actor Omari Hardwick. He received numerous awards for his service to our community, including a commendation from the state legislature. The visitation will be held on Sunday night from 5 to 7 at the Adams Chapel. His funeral will take place Monday morning at 11:30 at St. Philip AME Church on MLK Boulevard in Savannah.
In a community report, a Wilmington Island school is giving back to those less fortunate this holiday. Students at St. Peter the Apostle Catholic School have collected more than 2,000 canned goods and non-perishable food items. The students will help to pack up the boxes, and volunteers from the parish will deliver them to families connected to the church. Students in charge of the food drive say they're grateful for this chance to make a difference in other people's lives. Students have also collected money to donate turkeys to families in need.
Savannah-Chatham County students and parents have a lot to be proud of. Their annual food drive was a big success. It's coordinated by the Board of Education Police Department. The drive began back in September, and yesterday officers were delivering boxes of food that will help those in need right here at home and in our greater region. Organizers say they had so many generous donations this year, they were able to give the surplus food to Second Harvest, the Salvation Army, and Hurricane Florence victims in South Carolina.
Final check your time saver traffic on this Wednesday evening. Let's take a look at the 21 connecting toward 95. Overall, the flow looks pretty good. Little bit of a delay on 95 south going into the 95, but overall 21 looking good heading into Effingham County. Hey, weather forecast of this Wednesday night is for a chilly one. Temperatures dropping through the 50s and likely bottoming out in the low 40s with mostly clear skies.
Lee, thank you. Chocolate pie, ham, dressing. Can your furry friends eat these Thanksgiving favorites without getting sick?
Well, you know, most people would say no, but we hear from an expert next. You're watching WSAV News 3 on your side at 6.
Now back to News 3 at 6 with Tina Tyashaw, Ben Singer, and Chief Meteorologist Chris Allred. WSAV News 3 on your side.
Thanksgiving is a meal to share with family, which also includes some of our favorite furry family members, but you have to be careful because some of those scraps can be deadly.
News 3's Stacey Olmos has what you need to know to keep your pets safe.
Many people think a scrap here or there under the table or with a good trick won't hurt pets, but what you give them can.
Our bodies process things differently, you know, they're completely different species.
Natural and unprocessed foods such as pumpkin and turkey meat are great for cats and dogs, but it's when we start making grandma's recipes that things turn toxic.
It's when you start putting your onions and your garlic and everything in there, that's where it becomes a problem.
Don't feed pets anything with onions, garlic, scallions, salts, sugar, nutmeg, or artificial sweeteners. No ham or other pork products, grapes, raisins, chocolate, nuts, or alcohol.
Anything with like high salt content, high sodium, you want to stay away from. And also alcohol. A lot of people think it's funny to give them a little sip of a drink, but it really affects their liver a whole lot differently than it affects ours.
And no day after turkey bones either.
They're too thin, they break off, they can cut and become a foreign body and get stuck in the throat or get stuck in the digestive tract.
Most of the ingredients humans enjoy can damage an animal's kidneys, liver, pancreas, and poison them. That knocks out stuffing, mashed potatoes, seasoned turkey, sweet potato pie, green bean casserole, some salads, and most desserts. If you have a sneaky pet, pay attention to the signs of toxicity, including lethargy, loss of coordination, and vomiting. Vets say sticking to pet food is best, but if you can't resist the sad eyes, give Turkey Day treats before guests arrive.
Best times to feed them are going to be while you're making it, not after it's cooked.
Stassi Omels, WSAV News 3.
Now, WSAV Storm Team 3 weather enhanced by Fast Fit Titan Radar.
And I'm here with Lee now, and everybody's getting ready for the big holiday.
It's getting exciting, you know.
Yeah.
Boy, the grocery store's packed.
I bet. I'm going to stay away from the grocery stores
But
tonight.
you got all your stuff, right? You've got all your
Thankfully,
fixins.
our bosses are going to cater our lunch here tomorrow.
Looking forward to that.
Yes, that'll be nice.
Let's take a look at what's happening across coastal Georgia and South Carolina. Look at all these turkeys, Trish.
What are they doing?
Well, they're getting ready for the day, and as you can see, sunshine to start, afternoon clouds, temperatures running 5 to 10 degrees cooler than average. So today we were in the low 60s. I think pretty much the same thing tomorrow. We'll notice the sunshine in the morning, clouds building in for the afternoon. But listen, all in all, we're going to have a good day, and we're going to keep it on the dry side. As we take a look at the Dozier log cam, 55 degrees, skies are mostly cloudy. We'll quickly drop into the 40s tonight. Winds out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Pressure is steady this evening, an indication of high pressure and control of our weather, and it should remain in control for Thursday and Friday. So overall, it is going to be a pretty quiet 24 to 36 hours. Now, there is some rain building over portions of Texas and the western Gulf of Mexico. We'll keep an eye on that, but otherwise, high pressure will dominate through tonight and tomorrow. This is the forecast for your Thanksgiving Day. Temperatures in the low 60s for the afternoon. You can see dry weather if you're traveling through the Carolinas, most of Georgia. A few rain showers down over eastern portions of Florida. Also, maybe a stray shower on the Gulf Coast, but elsewhere, cool and dry weather conditions for the southeast. Our weather will begin on the cool side, generally 40s to begin, 51 at 9 o'clock, 61 at 2. We'll see that afternoon cloudiness beginning to thicken up, and 54 degrees at 7 o'clock. These are the forecast highs out there. Winds out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour, 60s in most spots, 63 Richmond Hill. Savannah checking in for Thanksgiving Day at 62. For the low country of South Carolina, we have 61 Ridgeland, about 60 degrees at Hilton Head Island, and 60 as well for Hampton. So as we go into Thursday night, many folks beginning their shopping, particularly going into Friday morning. We think that Thursday night will be dry. Then Friday, mostly cloudy skies. Notice that a few showers are trying to work in off the ocean, so we do think there'll be a chance for a few showers in the afternoon, and then rain is a good bet going into Friday night and Saturday as low pressure moves in. That's the highest chance for rain will be Saturday, then for a big travel day. A lot of folks heading back from the Thanksgiving holiday. Sunday should be dry and maybe an isolated shower on Monday. So the Storm 2-3 forecast, temperatures colder than average tonight. We're all the way down to 42 degrees and mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, dry weather conditions, sunshine to begin, clouds increasing late in the day, 62 for your average high. Now, we have small craft advisories in effect for Thanksgiving Day, waves picking up to 4 to 6 feet. Northeasterly winds 15 to 25 knots, and we're likely to keep blustery winds on the coast Friday and Saturday as well with small craft advisories. And the 7-day weather forecast calling for a chance for showers Friday, to showers likely on Saturday, but at least it's be a little bit warmer, 73. Yeah. Beautiful day Sunday, sun and clouds, 70 degrees, back into the 60s Monday. Strong front coming in early portions of next week. We may not get out of the 50s by next Wednesday.
So we're like maybe in the 40s again tomorrow morning, but I was reading that New York, you know, all those millions of people are going to be standing along that parade route tomorrow. It's going to be like 20-some degrees.
It is going to be
windy.
Bundle up. They're not even going to get freezing tomorrow in New York.
Well, we'll be watching it on TV. Yes. All right, thank you, Lee.